Good morning. You're joining us on Zoom.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Facebook. How are we doing? It's 11 a.m. It's coffee time.
11 a.m.
It's 11 a.m. So we are excited this morning because not only is it 11 a.m., but we've also got our wonderful friends from the MiSucre Bakehouse in Leeds, in Guiseley.
Hi.
Rachel and Patricia.
Good
Thank you so
morning.
much for joining us. How exciting. We're
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah.
yes, no, it's great. We wanted to we've been asking people, you know, what do people want to make our 11 a.m.s a bit more exciting? They said other people.
That's a good one.
So please get some people on.
I've
We're
had
really
enough.
bored.
Linda and Nick, that's too much of them. So let's hear from someone else. So actually, we thought it would be amazing to have you guys on. So for a bit of background for everyone, you might have read it already. We might have told you about it in the week, but MiSucre is a fairly new business.
Yes.
Founded by Patricia and Rachel, and so we just wanted to hear a bit about your story. So, how are we doing today? Are you guys all right?
We are. We're doing good. We're preparing for afternoon tea for this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Delivery.
Oh.
So,
All right.
I wish we were meeting in person. I feel like there might be some baking.
Oh man.
can we tempt you? So we've got brownie. What brownie is it?
It's Hershey's Cookies and Cream.
Oh,
Hershey's Cookies and
seriously.
Cream brownie. We've got orange drizzle. We've got strawberry Victorias. Obviously, we've got scones and clotted cream and jam.
Yeah.
An array of sandwiches, and we do mini Jamaican patties.
Oh, guys.
Man.
He delivered to us 25, yeah.
Man. Every time I meet you guys in person, whenever we hang out, I'm always very lucky to sample some of your wonderful cakes. And I tell you what, they are incredible. Absolutely
Thank
incredible.
you.
So how did you get in? So tell us a bit about your story then. So what were you doing before you started the MiSucre?
Before going into the coffee shop, we were a home bakery. So we started 2016. Yeah, 2016. Just as a home bakery. I've always baked, and I'm a qualified confectioner. And so, so I think it was 2015. Rachel just said, "Mum, why don't we do this properly?"
Yeah.
Sort of just doing it for friends and family. And I was doing wedding cakes before that anyway. So that's really what prompted us. So we registered our home kitchen with food standards in 2016 and started, our business idea then was to deliver afternoon tea.
Yeah.
So that's what we started doing. We went all out for it.
But people weren't really that bothered. So. And now we're in lockdown, everyone's bothered. So
I don't think Yorkshire was quite ready for the business idea.
Yeah.
Even though we thought it was great.
Well, yeah, we just it was just people would buy it for their parents that were housebound, or the delivery side of things. It wasn't what we wanted it to be, was it? And we did quite a lot of parties, and like leaving dues for teachers. We did a lot of things like that, but people didn't really want our initial concept of we're a delivery service and we're going to be in high demand. Like, we weren't in high demand with that. Yeah. And we did have a lot of like wedding cakes and favors, like celebration favors and things. So it was good, but it wasn't like people weren't really buying into what we wanted them to that much.
So how did you adapt?
We basically became event caterers, I would call it, like afternoon tea style. So
corporate events.
Yeah, we did a lot of like office stuff, things for like Leeds University branches, things like that. Really, we were really busy.
We did quite a few fuddles. That was a new word for us.
Yeah, Christmas
People
gatherings.
said, "Can you do a fuddle?" We were like, "Oh yeah." And then afterwards, we looked at each other and said, "What's a fuddle?"
Of course, we can do a fuddle.
Yes.
So that was a new word for us and a new concept. But it took the business in a different direction to what we wanted.
They're frozen.
Oh, You're frozen.
I give it a You look frozen.
Come back to us.
Oh, it's different.
How do you go back?
Hello.
Are we back? Is that better? Are we back? I'm sorry. I think it might have been.
Oh no, sorry.
We get super fast broadband as well, but it's never super fast.
Yeah, it went to you guys. It drops out, I think. I don't know
Carried
why.
on. Let's see if I think we're still there though. Saying we're still live.
Okay, good.
Still got our friends. Let's just check if we've got our friends still with us. Yeah, we've still got our people watching on Zoom. It's great to have you guys with us as well. Just as a quick pause, it's quite a nice way just to jump in before we come back to what we were talking about. If anyone's got any questions for Mi.Sucre, then please pop them in the Q&A. If you're on Zoom, pop them on the Facebook group. Any questions you've got for these guys, we'll come back to that at the end. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll come back. So now then, where were we?
We're moving on from corporate into what you really wanted it to look like, I guess.
You ended up doing something we're not quite so keen on. So how did that look? What were you after?
Sorry, what was that question at the end?
So what were you looking for instead?
So we then thought we would prefer to supply coffee shops. So we started sort of promoting that side of things. And then we got our first coffee shop beginning of last year.
Yeah.
End of 2018. Yeah. So we started supplying cakes. Then we got another one beginning of 2019. And we've always worked very closely with Leeds Trinity University.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a couple of students doing their work placement with us.
Oh, great.
And so she hosted, even though we were a home bakery, she put together a plan for inviting coffee shops to take up our services. So we hosted that at Leeds Trinity, and about 7 cafes came along. Yeah, about 7 out of 10.
Amazing.
Were represented. New startups as coffee shops. And so that's how we got into supplying coffee shops. I think about 4 of them took up our services. And so we ran with that. And then we were supplying a coffee shop in Bramhope, which we're still doing, we're really pleased about. And while stood in her coffee shop one day, I said to Rachel, we could do this. As you do. I prophesied it.
Yeah.
And then we were just on a journey, weren't we? We started looking at properties and didn't have a clue how we were going to do it. And then we saw the right one, and that was in Guiseley, and we thought, yes, this is the right spot.
Yeah.
And had you always dreamed of doing a coffee shop type side things, or was that just new development as you kind of journeyed with your business, that you kind of went, actually this would be a great next step? Or was it something in you that you've always thought, I'd love to have done that?
No, it was just progression.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It was just a journey, really.
Yeah.
Progression. And so it just felt right and natural to move. You know, we needed a bigger space without growing the kitchen at home.
Yeah.
And so we really did need a bigger space.
Yeah.
We went on lots of training with, gosh, what are they called? The Adventure Group. They offer funding and small grants.
Right. Okay.
So they offered free training, business training, and we went on those on how to grow your business, which was very useful. And so that's what we put into practice, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Quite a journey.
Yes. A scary one.
So with starting coffee shop and getting that premises, was that moving away again from the event stuff and from the wholesale, or was that adding on? How did you
It
do
was
it?
moving away from the event stuff,
Yeah.
catering, because have we done anything?
No.
No, we haven't. We've not had the time to physically be doing an event, like, you know, in a hall or something.
Yeah.
But we have had, I would call them mass orders, where they're collecting that quantity or that volume of food to present themselves, you know, for a party or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has, we still supply coffee shops.
Yeah.
So we still do that. So it's another income stream, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, another part of the business.
Yeah, it gives you the kitchen space to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So we're not reliant just on bums on seats.
Yeah.
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's good. And how did you find, so you were stood, you go back to that moment where you were stood in that cafe and you thought, we could do it, maybe we should do this. To jump forward, you've got your site, you've opened for a month or so. How did you find that reality compared to what you imagined? And
that it was really, really demanding physically. Because I mean, I had waitress before, but it was more demanding than that, because you're running the business. So it's not like you just finish a shift and go home and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's been 24/7.
Right. Okay. And when remind me when you opened, because what's the time frame now?
So
we opened last November, so it's been like 7-ish months. I mean,
got about 6 months in before the lockdown thing. So
lockdown was March.
Did you feel you were starting to get into a bit of rhythms of that, or was it still feeling quite new and quite 24/7? And
no, we really felt that we'd gotten into the rhythm of things. We knew what we were doing. We realized what worked. The clientele had changed because we'd gone into an existing coffee shop, changed the name.
I wouldn't call it. It was a breakfast shop, really.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it was. Yeah. We were changing it to a coffee shop from a greasy spoon cafe.
Okay.
So the clientele changed. So it really, I think towards the end, just before lockdown, it had become what we want it to be.
Yeah, you got
known, which is good.
Yeah,
which was really exciting. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then lockdown happened, and we were like,
pause.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so before we go to lockdown and that kind of era, what have you found? What have you been most surprised by, or what have you learned most from doing?
What have we learnt most? That planning is essential. Costing up for your area is essential. You know, we're not in city centre, we're in a small town out of that.
Yeah.
So you really have to know your audience. You have to know your community, really, and what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
And what would you say was one of your favourite bits of it so far, Rachel?
My favourite bits of it. When we were in the shop.
Yeah. When you were in the new era of running the cafe as well as the wholesale bit. And
my favourite bit, probably seeing someone enjoy or appreciate what we do, like the quality of the food, when someone really appreciates that. I mean, everybody appreciates it, but how can I phrase this? Some people are like, oh, this is amazing, but like, you know, they don't want to spend on food like they would spend on clothes, or they've got something that they would spend on, like, and then you have the person that is willing to spend on coffee or like CLO coffee, and then you get the person that's like, oh, it's really nice, but I just drink whatever, I don't care. So it's nice having somebody that's like, oh wow, this is amazing, like that's a foodie, that really makes you feel good, like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. You know, when they eat something we've made or cooked, or like the quality of the breakfast, like the sausages, you know, they're from a local farm, like we're supporting local Yorkshire stuff, you know, and you guys, when people love the coffee, that just makes you smile inside. So yeah, that's what I enjoy the most. Yeah, seeing that response.
Yeah,
definitely. That's good. It's really good. And then obviously lockdown hit, and what did that mean for you guys as that came about?
In a way, we came back to our roots. So our kitchen at home is still registered, and so we just moved all our baking stuff back to the house, because for those that don't know, we bake everything. We make our own preserves, our own cordials, cakes, scones, savouries, everything. The only thing we buy in is bread.
Yeah.
Right.
And butter and cream, you know.
Yeah. Ingredients.
You're allowed.
So most things, baking stuff we make. So we just came back to doing that in the house. So at the beginning of lockdown, we put up notices at the shop that we were delivering home cooked meals, which we deliver cold and they can reheat.
Wow.
And that really took off the first, 6 weeks?
No, first. Oh, maybe. I'm lost track of time.
The first sort of 6 weeks of lockdown, we were busy doing those. So we've got a freezer full of meals.
Yeah.
And then VE Day came and we posted ads for afternoon tea and we were inundated with afternoon tea.
It's like full circle, isn't it? It's so weird.
And we were like, what?
Obviously, we weren't doing it the original way where we deliver it on a 3-tier cake stand wrapped in cellophane with a picnic basket of china, and then we collect it when they've finished.
Right.
We just delivered it in a nice, colourful box wrapped in ribbon. Yeah.
So we're back doing what our original business idea.
with maybe a few more customers because of lockdown.
Yeah. So that's really taken off. So the meals have slowed down, the cooked meals, but afternoon tea,
because the weather's so nice
since VE Day, because of the nice weather, it's just continued. And
then people will get them like frequently. The same customers will buy them each weekend or each fortnight. So there's that. We kind of get an influx come Thursday, you know,
and we're having return customers, so that's great.
It's really good. And I think people moved away from urgent needs, haven't they, in some sense? Like, what's a treat and what can we have that makes it a bit more fun and enjoyable? So
we're just working on doing postal orders now for things that will travel safely, like our cookies and some of our tray bake style things, brownie and different things.
I know, I'm so excited.
What were they? They were like pistachio and chocolate.
Oh, on Facebook. Pistachio, stem ginger and white chocolate. Lovely.
Oh, seriously.
I love a cookie. I love a good cookie as well. Man.
So we're growing the business, even though we're in lockdown, and at the moment we're preparing to go back into the shop in July, hopefully. And but we're still growing the business. So we're looking at doing postal.
Yeah.
I know it's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, our hope for you guys as well is that, you know, while it's been tough and it takes a lot of adapting, that when you reopen back to, you know, the cafe side again, that you also have this other, you know, why not the afternoon teas carry on as well? And then what seemed like quite a bleak kind of initial time of, oh man, we've got to. We had the same with our cafes. We're going to zero income suddenly. Our hope is that, you know, for you guys as well, you'll have a even more thriving business at the end of it. Through all this. It's weird, isn't it? It's very weird, but I think you just have to adapt.
Yes.
But our hope is that we have as well, like, made the most of that, you know, even though it's been horrific. You don't want it. No, you don't want the illness and everything, but if we can come back stronger, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? A real redemption story, really. And that's our hope for all businesses in hospitality, like you guys as well.
So we've needed the rest, I think. We've needed the rest, and we've needed to step back and evaluate
as well.
Yeah, it gives a chance for that, doesn't it, really? You've got to take which bits of the gold out of it and try and make the most out of that time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, actually. Almost that, I think we'd like to cultivate a bit of an enforced rest in future sometimes where, because you never do, because there's always a cost, isn't there? There's always something that will be neglected because of taking a bit more of a rest or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, I think there's really something to be said for it, you know, and maybe we just need to cultivate that later as well in life when nothing's making you stop and pause.
Yeah.
What does the future look like then for you guys, do you think? I mean,
well, it's not orange. Good. You know, we want in the future we want to grow, obviously, the bake shop, the coffee shop in Guiseley, and then our vision is to have other bake shops open up throughout Yorkshire. And so, and who knows, we might even go beyond Yorkshire. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to have others.
Yeah. And then maybe some online ordering type stuff where you can post. Would you think that would just be for now, or will you look to create something that can carry on?
Something that can carry on, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
mean, at the moment, we don't even have a current website, because we had a website for when we were an afternoon tea delivery service, and we just never got around to doing a website, and then lockdown happened, and so that website for the shop would have had to have changed drastically anyway. So now within the next couple of weeks we're going to be launching the postal orders, and it's just going to be through Facebook until we have a website for that.
I know a good guy who could he could help you with that. So Rachel's brother Matt and Patricia's son Matt helps us with our branding. We know you guys for a long time, but he's also helped us with our branding and runs a branding agency in
he can't bake. I bet he can't
in
bake,
London. He can't, but we might be able to. I don't know. Can he?
He can bake.
Wonderful.
You've seen his sourdough though.
Good photographer as well. So he might be able to help. I'll put in a good word for you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, good. It's funny when you were chatting about, one thing that came to my mind was when you were saying about opening the cafe, Rachel. I think you referred to how busy it was and how almost grueling it is. And I just remember the thought for me, we started doing a cafe as the first thing we did together. And it was like, I think in my head, I remember that the biggest difference was in my head, you'd sit with a paper most of the day, chatting with people, chatting the world away. And then, I don't know why I thought it, but I just think that's what you envision.
You're gonna just spend your day in a coffee shop.
And then you realise you're serving everyone. And it felt, I remember day one, felt like we'd run a massive festival event. And then I remember thinking, we're doing this again tomorrow. And then the next day. And you're doing it we were doing it 6 days a week as well. And it's like, to begin with, and I just remember that was the one thing for me as well that felt so different to what I expected, is how grueling it is. It's really physical, really hard work to serve well, even just to serve with a smile the whole time, and all of that. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It's a nice idea, but it's hard work.
Have we got any questions?
We had one on Facebook, but it was about what things might you carry on doing after lockdown. So I guess that's kind of the online stuff that might grow, and afternoon teas and things. So we kind of talked about that one. Yeah.
Thanks everyone who's joining us. We're excited to have Patricia and Rachel, from the co-founders of Mi.Sucre Bakehouse in Leeds. We've got a question here from David. How many staff do you have? And do you have volunteering with your model? Now, David, I happen to know, I've got inside knowledge that he runs a cafe in Dagenham.
Oh, wow.
Enterprise, so they have some volunteers as well. So, and they serve good coffee as well. So, insider info. So, do you have other staff, or is it just you guys at the moment?
So
we just started to get that, which was lovely.
Oh, really?
We had we had Saturday staff and volunteer.
Yeah.
Who will remain anonymous for now. Nameless for now.
Yeah.
But she's wonderful. She's starting to do quite a bit. And
we had, we were using one volunteer, and she's in the wings waiting to come back on board, and the Saturday staff.
Yeah.
And that made a huge difference to us feeling human again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I guess you're still in that season of finding that rhythms of when you need those staff and when be, you know, there's no money to pay them, you know, and that kind of, when are you busy? I remember I was chatting with someone who was helping us with our business model at one point. He was like, you definitely need to be open earlier. You definitely need to be open really early, 7 a.m. And I'm like, do you know Garford, like, just wouldn't need 7 a.m. You know, and I think he was really used to city centre, every shop, you know, I think he worked for Costa or something. He's like, every Costa would be open then whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not in their location. We're actually in a different, you have to adapt to your customer base, don't you? So, and staffing on that. That's really good. Any other questions? Let me just have a check. No, I think.
You must let us know, you know, when you feel like you've got online ordering and things up and running. Do let us know.
Yeah, we will.
For my personal consumption, but also we can also put it on our pages and things, and
we'd love to share it.
Find you. So
definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys, it's so good to chat with you both. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story and what you're up to. And we're, you know, excited for the future, really, for what you guys are doing. And those, you know, bakes are incredible. I can testify. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Really,
I'm hungry now.
No, I am. What's the bit about the Yorkshire sausages? Oh.
So we are looking forward to going back in and serving our community, really.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Definitely. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. And we will see everyone again tomorrow, 11 a.m. for more Coffee Time chat.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for MiSucre Bakehouse.